Actually, basically it started with the question, why not a European Silk Road? And 3 years ago we had the idea to first start with a platform, the Silk Road Cultural Belt, where people from all over the world can share a piece of silk, a personal source of inspiration. So we have this circle, like starting with the Silk Road Cultural Belt, like it's the digital platform. Then it moved to the Silk Road Symphony Orchestra, the orchestra itself, which we founded in 2016 here in Berlin. And it keeps moving to the listener. We defined a specific listener which we are approaching. We called it responsible listeners. There's also the hashtag responsible listeners, which we are using for the Y-Silk Hub and which we are using widely for our communication, because this is like really the central position. And this arrived to the Conference of the Birds, consisting of responsible listeners, and it's an audience, a growing audience in Berlin and worldwide. So we reached already, through the Silk Road Cultural Belt, 1.4 million people. And this circle is like a growing dynamic between the platform, between the background, the orchestra, the listener and the audience, local, global, and it's moving, it's developing, it's growing. Yeah, first of all, I think it's very important to see the conference, the Karajan Tech conference, as a platform, also as a place, as a hub to connect, to exchange, and to ask certain questions. And I think the question, why not a European Silk Road, like starting from classical music, starting with culture, starting with listening, with a certain position, like responsible listeners, and starting with certain questions. And I think it's great to see Salzburg as a place where these current questions, these kind of necessities can be exchanged through various forms of dialogue and just meeting, and so we are there. I like the open approach and the really great background where this conference is taking place. I mean, at Salzburg, it's Herbert von Karajan, also who was always looking for progress, for transformation, for innovation, for new ideas, for artistic conviction, and it's great to have this spirit and this environment and this background to connect. Yes, very much. I had very much, especially in the first years of my studies. I watched and I listened to, especially to the recordings of the Brahms Symphony of Herbert von Karajan with the Berliner Philharmoniker, and it gave me a very clear idea of a certain artistic and musical conviction and knowledge and mastery. I don't have favorites, and one part of our idea is that the search, the continuous search, the daily search for a favorite score, for a favorite sound, for a favorite source of inspiration. This is what drives me. So I've always tried to not to stay with one priority, but to put, for example, a recording of Herbert von Karajan with the Berliner Philharmoniker at one day in the priority to learn, to study, to discover. But of course there's so much inspiration, there's so much knowledge, and I really think it's important to be open and to have a wide focus. Right now it's Palestrina. I just discovered his music for the next Berliner Dialogkonzerte, and it's really in the dialogue with the Egyptian book of the dead is really. There's all my attention at the moment. There's all my ears, and it's really there. I mean, it's this Latin mass as a form, as a musical form. This dialogue between the early Renaissance, Rome and Egypt, and like this is there's all my attention at the moment. Yeah, go out, really talk to everybody, make friends, discover the beauty around, and also ask questions you really, which burn. And I'm very grateful for the fact that we could present the Silk Road Symphony and also the idea 2017, and Matthias Röder is really doing a great job too, and the Karajan Institute to create a platform to bring together the opinion leaders and the creative forces from so many parts of the world. So use it.